Woo. All right. What's going on, party people? Your man Griff here, 7:15 in the morning. Rolling on out to Suffolk, do a house inspection. Got a long ride out there, but I had to get up early to go do it. The only time of the day. So go out here, make some quick money, come on back, make some old money. But I want to answer a question that came up to one of the videos I did. The individual was asking, and if I read the question right, basically was asking, what data do I have that says or shows or proves that more people are trying to become notary publics? And there is no actual government data or private entity data that says over the last 6 months or the last 12 months, 35% of people surveyed said they want to be a notary public. The data is just being out here working and me getting a lot of phone calls from people, a lot of inquiries from people when I'm doing closings and stuff that say, hey, they're really interested. And I've been getting a lot more. I've been getting more notaries saying they want to come back in the business. They walked away from the business for whatever reason. And now they've decided they want to come back. And for a variety of reasons. Some of them said, hey, I don't like the way my job has been going. I thought going back and working a W-2 is going to be better for me, but it's just worse than before. Or they got laid off again. A whole bunch of reasons. Some of them like, yeah, I didn't take the business serious. Like one person, is like, how did she say it? Basically, she believed the hype that everybody else was saying about the business. And because of what other people were saying about the business, she approached the business wrong and therefore didn't really get the best out of the business. That's the best way I could put it. She didn't maximize it, or she had, and like one guy was like, he had the wrong perception of the business. He was looking at the business from just a quick money grab and didn't, really establish himself to keep going more long term. So, and the thing that none of y'all would ever know, unless I say it, I get phone calls all the time. I get emails, I get text messages, DMs from a lot of people that, that have talked to me in the past, and they're like, now I'm circling back. Then you have people who've had family issues. They had to take care of a sick loved one. They got married, they got divorced, they moved to another state, all kinds of things. And now they're like, I want to get back into this. Then I have the whole bunch of people who are actually, when I'm at the table doing the closing, asking me about this business, asking me how to get into it, contacting me a little bit later on and saying, hey, remember me? I talked. Now I'm like, yeah. They said, yeah, I'm interested, or I got my notary commission. And then I'm coming across people when I'm at the closing table. Hey, I just got my notary commission, and I saw this stuff on TikTok, and can you really make money like they're saying? Then I got real estate agents. Yeah, real estate agents that when I'm doing closings, they're like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing notary. So it's been a lot more of that. So if I'm experiencing that, I know others are. And people are starting to look more into this business, because it was like a lull of about maybe 8 to 10 months where I didn't hear nothing about anybody getting in the business. I just heard a bunch of people talking about, I'm out, I'm done with it. You can stay in it if you want. This is trash. Nobody was inquiring when I would go to a closing, nothing. But then all of a sudden, these last 4 or 5 months, and then with the mass layoffs that they got going on, Boeing's on strike. The port workers were on strike, no longer on strike, at the recording of this video. What else? All these companies laying off folk. Amazon telling people either you come back in or you ain't got no job. You got to come back into the office by January 2nd, or you out of a job. So you got all of this going on. I'm like, man, this is some deep stuff out here, and people trying to find a way to make some money. And then you got all of the people, the main trainers, you know who they are, constantly marketing, constantly telling people, saying stuff about how to get in this business and making all this money. So when you have all of that, it draws more attention. When people were hurting for money, I mean, when people was, cool with their job and they're like, yeah, I'm good. They weren't worried about this. They were not worried about this job. I mean, this business. But now things done got tight. They like, I need to make some money. Husband done got laid off. Wife done got laid off. Didn't get a raise. Or maybe the husband or wife didn't get laid off. Or maybe that adult didn't get laid off. But guess what? Their adult child did. And now so now people trying to figure out what can they do to make some additional money to pay something. And I'm not saying that it just like completely stopped, but for the notary business, there wasn't that interest. During the pandemic, it was. Then it just got quiet, and people were just like, notary. And they looked down on it. But now people are really, really interested. So the data I have is based off of me being out here and interacting with people, and people coming out and just asking me. Now, see, I'm not in the malls. I get in and get out with the grocery shopping, so I'm not out other soap places. I'm not at restaurants. I'm not walking around with I'm a Notary Public on my shirt and all that kind of stuff. So the people who I'm communicating with are people at the closings and former people, or people who stumble across my videos and they go ahead on and give me a call. And they come across mine after looking at some other stuff. So there are more people starting to get interested. And that's where I get my data from me actually being out there and interacting with people to find out, or, just interacting with people, just in a day-to-day thing. And then they started, and they want to find out more about the business. So I'm like, okay, well, here's what the business is. And I tell them all. I say, look, this business is about availability. The more available you are, the more money you can make. If you are not that available, and the problem is that the people who've been asking me about this business, a lot of them are not available. They got small kids, they got parents they're taking care of, and it's hard for them. So they can't be as available as they would like. And that's the one thing that a lot of people are not talking about. Well, really, in my opinion, none of them. They keep making it seem like you can set your own schedule. But if you already don't have time, how can you set your schedule when you really don't have time for stuff? You're working 2 and 3 jobs. You got 4 and 5 things to take care of outside of those 2 and 3 jobs. That's the thing, and then for a lot of people, they don't have the money to buy the equipment. They can't buy a scanner. They can't buy a printer. Even if they got the combo printer and scanner, they just don't have the money for it. Logistically, they don't have what it takes. Some of them don't have vehicles or reliable vehicles. So they're interested, but they still can't do it. And it saddens my heart for the people who actually get into business, and then they find out about the logistical requirements for this business, and they done spent $2 and $3 grand to get in it, thinking that it's just gonna pop. It's like, oh yeah, they're just gonna be throwing orders at me, and it's not like that. And I really get upset, and they tell me who these trainers they talking to are, and I'm like, that's why I have a hard time with some of these, all of them, to be honest. Because even if they don't embellish the business like it's just popping and you just gonna make thousands of dollars, they don't actually take time out and share with people the reality of the business and the difficulties that they're going to face with this business trying to get started, and then they've never ran a business before. They don't understand how to be disciplined. Yeah, they struggle. They struggle. So that's where I get my data from. Being out here talking to the people, as I just live my life and do the business. People sometimes at my wife's cosmetology school in the salon, they'll be there getting their hair done, and they might recognize my voice because they heard me on a video, or one of the other stylists there to be like, hey, they might ask me how things went, or I might mention, yeah, I'm got another signing to go to, or thing, a notary, and they're like, hey, I heard about that notary thing, and they're interested in it, so they want more information on it. And okay, cool, I talked to them about it and everything, but I will say overwhelmingly, probably 80 to 90%, somewhere up in there, aren't really in a position to do it. They're not in a real good position to do this business. They want to, but in all honesty, they're just not in the position to do it once they understand what it takes in getting to work. And a lot of them just don't have the patience to wait, because some of them are thinking of it like a W-2. I get it, I apply for a job, I get the job, and then when I show up to work, I start working. And they're thinking that the moment I get my notary stuff, I should start getting working on requests and stuff. And I'm like, it ain't like that. It is not like that whatsoever. In some cases it could be, but a lot of times it may not be. So yeah, that's where I got it. Give me your thoughts. Have y'all heard or seen more inquiries or interest in for people coming into this business? It's grown. It's grown. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.